Hi. So we're going to talk about security today. But first, remember high school? Remember all the social drama, all the cliques, all the do's and don'ts? So I personally definitely do. And for me, it often felt like a scene straight out of the cult movie Mean Girls, which is why I love this movie so much. It's not only insanely funny, but it shows some of the complexities of teenage life. And the high school hallways often felt like a jungle. This was my high school as well. Not really. So as years went by and I entered the software development world, I understood that one of my favorite places to hang out, which was the internet and still is no safer than a jungle. And if you have a web application or an open source project, someone out there will always try to exploit it. So, hi everyone, my name is Gili. I'm 5 years at Wix and I'm a full stack developer in the awesome DevTools group. And I like to explore unpredictable behaviors of web applications like web vulnerabilities, which is what I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to do what any logical and reasonable human being would do and compare these web vulnerabilities to Mean Girls characters. So the first character is Karen Smith. She's not the sharpest pencil in the toolbox, but she can be manipulative. So of course she would be XSS. So in XSS, an attacker can store malicious JavaScript code in someone else's application. And then the victim that gets into the site gets this malicious JavaScript code from the server into their browser. And if the application is vulnerable, for example, if you use set dangerously in your HTML, for example, in your client code, this JavaScript code will be parsed and executed on the victim's browser. So let's take a look at an example. This is a real tweet from Twitter. And this is actually an exploit of an XSS vulnerability that was on Twitter back in the time. So this post was saved on the server without any HTML escaping. And because it has an innocent emoji at the end of it, in order to present it, what happened was that this whole tweet was parsed as raw HTML. So you can see here that the script tag here does couple of operations. We click on the repost button, and then we confirm, and then there's a nice alert that mentions that you've been messed up with. So this was actually a self-retweeting tweet, meaning that everyone that saw this tweet on their feed was retweeting it. So you can see here the number, it's nearly 60K. So how can we prevent this from happening in our code base? First of all, and this is going to be repeated, perform input validation on the server side and escape HTML tags that you accept from the client. And at Wix, we have the secutils library in order to do that. So the next character would be Gretchen Wieners. She knows everybody's business, and it says that her hair is so big because it's full of secrets. So that would be how she can get all these secrets would be by using SSRF. So SSRF would often occur when there's a URL parameter in the request. And if the server is vulnerable, it would accept, for example, internal URLs too. And this way, an attacker can access internal endpoints that were not meant to be exposed to the public. So sometimes the server would even return a response back to the attacker, so they can get secret configurations, access to internal services, get AWS metadata and stuff that we don't want to expose to the outside world. So how can we avoid such attacks? First of all, perform input validations. For example, don't accept internal URLs. And the second option, the better option would be to use HTTP proxy. For example, at Wix, we use the Squid proxy in order to block access to internal networks from the outside, from requests that's going from outside. And the last vulnerability would be Regina George. you don't want to mess with her. She's the queen bee of the gang. So that would be an SQL injection. So let's take a look at this comic. Basically, the mom gets a phone call from her son's school, and the school is like, "Did you really name your son Robert Job Table Student?" And the school is like, "Okay, we have a problem. We lost the entire student's record." And the mom is like, "I hope you learn to sanitize your input." So let's see what can happen if we do a vulnerable query like this one. Here we just inject the name parameter. So what happens if I put Robert Drop Table Student with all the special characters here? We kind of get two SQL commands here. First of all, we insert the entire, we insert Robert, and then we drop the entire students table. And the dashes at the end are for commenting so we don't get an SQL error. And this is a mitigated query. We use here parameterized query. So if I insert the same name, what would happen here is that the special characters are sanitized when needed, so we don't get this kind of unexpected behavior. So how can we avoid SQL injection? First of all, you guessed it, perform input validation on the server side. So unless you're Elon Musk's son and you probably don't have special characters in your name. So, and that would be it. And use parameterized queries for sanitizing user inputs. So to sum up, you should take care of these kind of things. You don't want to mess up with this, and if you want, you can check out the security docs for looking at these common solutions. And if you don't take care of these things, you should watch out because these three gals will be looking out for you. Thank you.